Hi, I'm Joyce Danger. Thanks for joining me today. I would like to share a little bit about personality styles and how to recognize the different personality styles and also how to run with the strength of your personality, and in working with team member prospects, how to start to recognize those styles in other people so that you can better relate to them. This isn't meant to pigeonhole people into certain personality or into boxes or anything like that. It's more to become a student of people and be able to relate to people better and understand that we do think differently than each other and how to better relate to other people. I'm going to talk about the DISC scale, and I'm going to also on the website I have included the little test, and you can take a few minutes and test yourself so that you can kind of get a feel of where you are on this. So the first personality style I'm going to talk about is the D personality. That person is driven. Sometimes people call it a dominant personality. It's kind of a thinking process or a thinking pattern where pretty quick decision making, pretty driven, direct to the point. If they're going to tell you something, they don't beat around the bush. They're pretty much don't flour, sugarcoat it or anything like that. They're just going to put it right out there and tell you. So if you're talking to her, maybe you're talking to her about Mary Kay and you ask her to tell you about herself, she will likely tell you about her accomplishments, maybe about her her degree or her educational background, some of that kind of thing. And she is likely to want, if she's asking about Mary Kay, she's going to want to know pretty quickly, cut to the chase, how do you make money at this? And it would be a pretty quick interview, a pretty quick career chat. And she is going to want freedom from control, so the fact that you could be your own boss would be important to her. She is somebody who doesn't necessarily like authority. She would like to be able to have the opportunity for advancement. That sort of thing would be important to her. She is somebody who would like to call the shots. That's that sort of person. She is somebody you could ask her, what she'd like to know, that kind of thing. If you think of this movie, the Ice Age movie, the saber-toothed tiger would be a good example of the D personality. Also in the animal kingdom, I think a lion would be a good example of the D personality, someone who just, gets it done, D personality. Next I want to talk about is the I personality. The I personality is more of the influencing personality. So they tend to be a lot of fun, very expressive. They are, if you ask them to tell you about themselves, they will tell you everything. And then some more after that. They'll go, start at the beginning. I was born and raised here and there, and they tell you absolutely everything. It's a pretty long career chat if you're talking to them about the business. It's a whole, they build the relationship with you. They tend to want to know about the prizes that we give in Mary Kay. They are very interested in seminar and the pretty dresses and a lot of the fluff part of Mary Kay. I usually find out what they want to know and answer their questions so that I don't give them too much detail because they might not want to have all the details. So if you have, some people have like a recruiting packet or something like that, don't bombard them with detail because they might feel that they need to read all the detail and they're not going to read all the detail, so then they won't make a decision because they feel like they don't know what they should know. So just answer the questions that she has, but keep it pretty simple for her. It's more about relationship building for that I personality. If you think of in the animal kingdom, I think we talked about the sloth is the good example here. I guess I can't remember now if I said that or not. The S personality would be the next one. And S personality is a steady personality. They're a little bit slower to change. They tend to be really stable and supportive people. They're people who are, if you ask them to tell you about themselves, they're likely to tell you about their family situation, very likely to be work really well in a group. They're good at following a pattern or following, if they said that they're going to do something, they're very stable in following that routine kind of thing. If you were to look at the Ice Age characters there, it would be probably Manny, the whatever you call this big guy, the great big guy in here, that he's just just goes with the program, just that kind of thing. Very, very caring about other people and about the people that are around him. So somebody that you can count on. They're great team players kind of people, not one that necessarily want the focus on themselves. S personalities, very interested in how, if you were talking about Mary Kay, about how this would benefit their family and the people that they care about, more so than maybe how it would benefit themselves. With the I personality, might love the fact that they could get the recognition and they could get the prizes. It might be more about them. Looking at the animal world, we might be looking at the, I'm just thinking of that, like a dog. You know how the dog can be so loyal, just really a nice loyal dog that would just be right at your side and really excited for you to come home, and just really the support person, just, you know, that loyal, like a golden retriever, that kind of a personality. The next personality would be the C personality. And a C personality is a compliant person. They're a rule follower kind of person, detail-oriented person. They're the ones that they would know that, you know, they know when the quarter ends, they know the facts and the figures about things, or they know where you can find all the details about things. If you were to look at the animal kingdom, it would probably be the beaver would be a good example. They're, you know, really good worker. They get things done, and they get it done right. If you're going to do it, if any job is worth doing, it's definitely worth doing right, and they're not going to do something halfway or just good enough. They're going to do it. They're going to do it the way that it's supposed to be done. They tend to, if you were to ask them to tell me about yourself, they would likely tell you. They would probably tell you what would you want to know, because they certainly would want to answer the question correctly. And I've just asked a very vague question, and they don't know really what I'm asking, so they want to make sure that it's correct. So it's important to them, if you're asking about Mary Kay, if you're going to tell them about Mary Kay, they would want to know more facts and figures. So I usually find out what they want to know and then answer their questions. And actually, for most personality styles, I do find out what they want to know. You know, if I say, if I had just a few minutes to tell you about Mary Kay, what would you really want to know? And then I jot down whatever she says, and then I answer the questions that she has, so I can kind of customize the career conversation to her situation and to what kinds of things she would want to know. But detail people, C personality is going to be more detail-oriented than maybe some of the other personalities. In each of these personality styles, it's important that you're going to run with your strength and that you know what your personality or what your strength is, but we don't want to use the personality style or whatever your style is as an excuse for bad behavior. So sometimes people will say, oh, that's just the way that I am. I'm a, you know, whatever personality. And sometimes with our personalities, we could hurt somebody's feelings because, you know, D's can sometimes slide into a little bit of a B, and you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings because you're doing that. So it's important that you do understand that that can happen. So like at career conference, for example, say everybody's, you know, getting into the elevator and you're trying to get out, you know, get to the opening session or something like that, and the I personality is saying, oh, come on, we got more room in the elevator, everybody else, you know, no, we'll hold the button, we'll let more people in. And you know, they're having a party, there's always room for more people. The D personality is saying, you know, is thinking, oh, you know, no, we got to get going because we want to get our seat, and we want to get, you know, we got to get there, and we're on a mission. And for anyone who was with me, you know, that was me at the career conference. I'm on a mission. So we have to be aware that other people don't always have the same agenda that we have, and so sometimes we have to tone down whatever our agenda is a little bit and be a little bit more respectful of the people around us, and that they might not be thinking the same way that we are. And so in understanding of the different personality styles, it helps me to be a little bit more, maybe a little bit more flexible about the person, you know, what other people are doing, and a little less crabby than I might be if somebody's thinking differently than what I might be thinking. It also is helpful to be a student of people, that I have learned that I have to find the funny in situations. So sometimes when I understand the personality styles, I can find the funny in why a C personality might do something, or an S, or, you know, the different personalities, why they might do something or behave in a certain way, because they're, you know, behaving the way that personality would behave. In the same way as if you're dealing with, I had my grandchildren were here yesterday, and one of them, you know, the 1-year-old was behaving like a 1-year-old behaves, and that's getting into stuff and doing stuff that 1-year-olds do. And if I was going to expect her to do anything different than that, that would be unrealistic. So I can find the funny in all those little things that they do, because I know that that's what 1-year-olds are supposed to be doing, and it makes it more tolerable. It also helps us develop an awareness of how our style affects the things that we do, and be more aware of that. Helps us enjoy the journey of learning about ourselves and learning about the people that we work with, and it's a tool in building relationships. It also helps us to accept responsibility for our own behavior and maybe even understand our own behavior better. It helps me to learn the areas of my life that I need to maybe work on a little bit stronger, or even understand why I struggle with certain areas of my business or certain areas of my life, because things that come harder to me, like the detail part of things, does come harder for me, and so that I know that I have to there's certain things that I have to do in my business in order to make the detail part. I have to have certain papers ready and handy, because I'm not going to remember a lot of things about detailed parts of the business. So I just need to know that I have to have those pieces of information handy, because I'm not going to remember the details, and don't expect myself to remember the details, because that's just not going to happen. But I know where I can find the information, so that's handy and at my fingertips. What I don't want to do is to expect other people to change, that the other people are who they are, and they're built the way that God built them, and that they are who they are, and I need to respect that and love them where they're at. And the person that I can change is myself. I'm not going to change my personality, but I can learn to accept where they're at, and to work with my personality to the best of my ability, and to love them where they're at, and to communicate with them in a language that they can understand, meaning communicate with them in their personality style. So if I'm dealing with a D personality, cut to the chase a little bit more. If I'm dealing with an I personality, then I probably need to build a relationship a little bit more with her. If I'm dealing with an S personality, take a few extra minutes to ask about her family and the things that are important to her. If I'm dealing with a C personality, then I need to make sure to explain a little bit more detail, or ask, is there anything else she would like to know, or when after I've explained something, I might ask, does that make sense, or does that answer your question? Something like that. So, it doesn't hurt me to take a few extra minutes with each of these personalities to make sure that I've answered their questions correctly, and so that they feel comfortable with the level of detail or level of information, or not so much information, based on what they need. So hopefully this has given you some ideas about the DISC personality. If you want more information, you can actually Google DISC on your computer and find out more about it. There's also information that I'll attach a little bit onto this, whatever you call this thing, video chat. And so for whatever it's worth, I hope that you found it interesting, and thank you so much for joining me. Thanks a lot.